Welcome to Livingstone Ranch. We're going to start working on the walls of the chicken coop. And instead of using drywall, I've opted to use OSB. The price is about the same for the 3/8 OSB as for half-inch drywall. This is going to give it a little bit more sheer, and also it's just going to, I don't know, it's just going to be easier for me to do it. So I took all this flooring right here. I have a whole bunch of it. I took it out of a place that I was doing some work on. And so we're actually going to put down the OSB on the walls. And then we're going to use this flooring as like our paneling. Again, this is just going to help with being able to hose this whole place out. Um, Probably a little bit too much for a chicken coop. But there are some issues that we're going to have to deal with. This was not framed to be finished on the inside. And so our corners aren't framed correctly. And rather than me framing them correctly, I've opted to frame them incorrectly. Basically, I'm going to put my wall panels on the short wall and the tall wall first, and then I'm going to come in and put in a stud on the angled walls so that I can finish off these walls. It's just going to be easier for me to do it and cheaper because it's going to be 4 less studs that I have to buy. So I'm just going to get to it. Oh, also, we're going to seal that bottom edge of the OSB. We're going to seal it before we set it down. We'll run a bead of, what do I have? Here we go. We're going to use this Dynaflex P230 because I have it. So that's kind of the key to the coop. What do I have laying around that we can use so it doesn't cost us too much money to get this thing wrapped up? So yeah, we're going to use this, seal that bottom edge, and then I'll seal again around everything once I put in this flooring on the walls. See, that's the other reason why I've opted to not frame it correctly. And the ceiling is too much. Uh, it's going to be less cuts for me to make. As it is, it's framed for 8 foot on the outside, and so I don't have to cut this sheet. I can just put it in. It's going to be a lot easier than framing in a corner correctly for interior and then having to cut all my sheets to fit. So this will be a little bit faster. For right now, I'm just going to attack these sheets in with finish nails. Once I get them all up, I'll come back and throw some screws in there just to tighten it up. Okay, I'm pretty happy with that. So we're going to just keep going, get all this plywood up on the walls, and we'll come back when we put those little corners in. Okay, so I have all the sheeting on this back wall. So now I'm just going to throw in studs here and the same thing on the other side. Then we'll insulate this bay and get sheeting up on this wall. So this is just, this is me kind of cheating and not wanting to frame it correctly. But this is going to be just fine. So it's a chicken coop. It's not a house. But it looks like I need to notch this one out for the tie on top. Okay, that's better. All right, that'll work. So I'm going to keep putting up this sheeting on the inside here, and then I'll come back when I start putting in the flooring on the wall. So hopefully this all works out okay. Okay, so we got all of our OSB up on our walls in here in the chicken coop. Um, So next we're going to put in this flooring that we have here. Again, I took all of this out of a place, so I have it. And we're going to start putting that in on the walls. And we'll see pretty quickly if this is a good idea or a bad idea.